lot of things that have went on in our marriage that you all have not been privy to. And it's not for me to go out here right now on this platform and talk about those things.
Let's just get it all out on the table. Because when she's talking about, when she's saying there have been things in our marriage that have been so hard, there was a time when I did something I shouldn't have done. Me and a friend of mine, we were hanging out one night, and we met these two girls, and we went back to a hotel.
Next time on the conclusion of the Married to Medicine reunion.
You try to reason your way out of every little thing.
What change did you make? Did you make a change?
Do you think I made a change?
Y'all not happy in the relationship. That's it. This is your wife who's crying out.
Because it ain't just about Simone. You got two boys.
I can only do me.
No! Cecil is full of bullshit.
You were in a hotel room with a woman.
Did anything happen?
Are you
What's up, guys?
Where do you see yourselves going forward?
For more on Married to Medicine, go to BravoTV.com.
Hey. I said I love you.
Tonight on Relative Success. Real Estate Concierge is a family-run property business in Beverly Hills, California.
The primary business is real estate, but the difference about us is we go above and beyond.
I'm going to go and get someone to walk your dog.
Every time you help somebody with a house, those people refer their friends to us.
Operating in one of the most
wife, putting the finishing touches on a long-planned get-together. Phil and Nicoletta Dawson preside over a large and loving family.
Everybody's in the house, and everybody's having at the same time, and that's what their family was like. The Dawsons are Italian. They're a very tight-knit family. They celebrated birthdays together, they did things together, they kept up with each other.
Today is the birthday of the Dawson's twin granddaughters, and they've scheduled an early dinner to celebrate. Problem is, several family members are already late. Frank Dasso, the twins' father, his sister Diane Dasso, and her husband George were all supposed to arrive an hour ago.
I'm going to give her a call.
Let me know what to say.
All right.
Nicolette Dasso's calling Frank's wife and asking, have you seen him? They should have been home by now.
The last anyone had heard from them, they were over at the offices of Erie Manufacturing.
Phil and Nicolette repeatedly called the business trying to get a hold of them and could never get answered.
And let's pick it up.
So they eventually got in their vehicle and drove to the business.
Something's going on.
They noticed that Diane's vehicle's there, as well as George Gonzalez's vehicle.
69-year-old George Gonzalez is Phil's close friend and longtime business partner. A workaholic who's usually the last to leave.
They go to the front door, find the front door unlocked, and as they're going in to try to find their kids, it's dark in there.
So dark that Phil and Nicoletta can't see the horror waiting for them inside.
Diane?
Nicoletta trips over Diane, whose body was in the hallway.
Nicoletta slowly realizes she's standing in a pool of her daughter's blood.
Then she picks Diane up and she's cradling Diane and sobbing.
Around the next corner, the living nightmare continues.
Oh, God.
Phil's son, Frank, shot to death. Next to him, Diane's husband, George Patiso. A few feet away, Phil's business partner, George Gonzalez.
All three shot in Frank's office.
And listening to the 911 recording, you can actually hear Nicoletta in the background.
The panic and the emotion in her voice, and she's screaming. Imagine finding one of your family members, but when you find your daughter and your son and your son-in-law, who they thought of as a son, and her husband's partner, it was unbelievable.
Mr. Dasso and Mrs. Dasso were devastated. Their whole world was destroyed.
Bartow detective Steve Parker is among the first to arrive at the horrific scene.
It was very overwhelming. Walking into something like that was, at that point, was the worst that I had ever seen, with 4 murder victims in one location. There was a lot of blood.
The initial impression from the scene was, that it was professional because they were shot execution style.
All 4 of them had been shot in the back of the head.
With a small caliber gun at 22.
And not just once. 12 empty shell casings are scattered across the office floor. But strangely, not all of them are from a 22 caliber weapon.
There was one 32 caliber shell casing that was found near Diane.
Unlike the others, she had also been shot in the face.
We knew that all 4 victims were shot with the same 22, with the exception of Diane, who was shot with a 22 as well as a 32.
2 different calibers, 2 different guns. A strong indicator that investigators are now looking at more than just one killer.
Initial thoughts were, 2 to 3.
Special Agent Tommy Ray attempts to reconstruct the deadly sequence of this mass murder.
George Gonzalez was lying kind of face down, and George Petiso was next to him. We found Frank Dasso was the last one shot because of defensive wounds, like he had thrown his hand up to block the shot.
Diane is separated from the rest of them.
She was the only female, and she was found in a different area of the business. Of course, we had to look at different scenarios.
George, are you ready to go?
Did she just walk in on these people? Was she there and did she try to run? Did they try to physically remove her and ultimately kill her?
Pick the prettiest hairdo.
The Dassos cannot fathom any motive for this wanton slaughter.
It was horrible. It just seemed unreal. Now, this can't be true. They were very kind people.
Very close, a lot of love, a lot of energy in that family. And it was a huge blow. But the fact that they actually had to be the ones to find them was also just devastating.
At the headquarters of Erie Manufacturing,
are you aware of any enemies?
Detectives probe the Dasso family's business connections. Phil's son Frank was the general manager at the company, and Diane's husband, George Petiso, worked there as a salesman. Phil and his close friend, George Gonzalez, had founded the business 30 years ago.
Erie Manufacturing makes the conveyor systems that businesses use to move clothing around. For example, dry cleaners or big distribution centers.
It's a place filled with large, bulky equipment. What was there that was worth killing for? There were only 2 things missing from the crime scene: a thick gold chain from George Petiso's neck and Frank's Rolex watch.
He was initially shot in the wrist. It went through his watch band. Part of the band was embedded into his wrist.
Which means a killer took the trouble to snatch the expensive timepiece off Frank's body. They also ripped the chain from George's neck, leaving a crucifix behind.
We weren't sure what we were dealing with, at that point. Like, it was a robbery, but then there was a cash drawer that was open, several $100s untouched.
Is that because the robbers were interrupted before they could grab everything of value? Did they run off in such a hurry that they left behind the cash and a gold crucifix?
It appeared that the business was ransacked, like maybe somebody was looking for some papers or something. So we said either somebody's really looking for something or this is a staged. Like they wanted it to appear like it was a possible robbery.
Also unexplained is the rogue 32 caliber bullet that pierced Diane's left cheek. Was she singled out, or did she stumble upon a murder already in progress?
With Diane being separated from everybody and her facial wounds being totally different than the other victims, we had to explore as to why she was where she was.
Is it possible that she was actually the one the killers were really after? What is it about Diane that could possibly make anyone want to kill her?
I just miss
me some Magnum ice cream. That shit is crackhead. That shit is crackhead ice cream. That Magnum ice cream is crack ice cream. When you go to Walmart, you gotta buy it, yo.
She left work earlier than usual at around 4:20. She drove over to the
The Magnum ice cream.
so they could all
I picked up a new flavor. I picked up the milk chocolate and hazelnut.
a physical detail on Diane's body reveals she was killed
Oh, shit, watching IB. I was watching the Married to Medicine.
I'm currently role playing as a fire princess. What?
From the other day. My eye is finally going down. Huh? I said my eye is
There's some
going down.
princesses. There's some princesses.
Hi, Kaden.
He's doing a video for YouTube. He can't talk to you right now.
Keep doing it.
He created a YouTube account.
Debate club?
Here's the big club.
And don't ask me how he created it. He was like, he's like, mommy, he came out picture. I was like, sure, what? And he said he wanted a YouTube account. What?
gymnastics
Hey,
championship.
he might be rich one day. You never know.
He was talking about he had 1 million subscribers. I was like, no, you didn't.
No, and then my subscribers are gone.
This program is brought to you by
I don't know.
whatever your mountain, climb on.
You're not getting sick, are you?
I don't think so.
You start looking for your ticket to come party, like the party with the rock stars?
I'll got my ticket already. It's just the money.
So technically you do not have. So let me tell you about our system. So today I see like a cash app said you and it can send you $50. I'm like, for what? Remember I told you the whole money situation and she's like, oh, I'm saying, you know this bitch ain't saying nothing.
I don't think.
Wait, I thought she did.
If there's out, okay, well, I felt.
Then she said she sent 200.
You see, and I'm telling her that today. She didn't want she said. I said, Nika, I wouldn't make up a number like that. Because I asked you last week, like, since you said y'all filed taxes, to go ahead and just send me the $600, and you said, oh, you didn't get back a lot, and Alex got back 10,000, but Alex bought a car, and y'all moving. So I was like, okay, he got back 10,000, you can't send my $640. And she's like, oh, I have the capital stuff, and I have 250 saved for you. So I was like, okay, well, keep saving it like that. Cause remember I told you she was sending me $25. I'm like, don't do it like that. I'm trying to pay off something. So just send it to me. And she gonna tell me today, oh, she never opened up the capital account because she